Hi guys, welcome to my channel. I am Coco Kenzie. If you are new, welcome, welcome. If you are not new, then welcome back. I welcome you, and as always, I'm so happy to share this time and space with you. If you have not, go ahead, click the button, subscribe, like, share, and definitely comment. If you are here, then you are probably a Love Island fan, and 9 times out of 10 a Justine fan, possibly a Justine hater. I don't know. Comment, totally fine. All I ask is that respect and love in my comments. That's all I ask. Even if you disagree, if we can disagree. We're grown. Fine. Respect. Um, I'm gonna kind of go through and dive through what she talked about, and then I'm gonna get in the meat and potatoes of what I feel and kind of what my biggest takeaway from it. So definitely stay to the end because we're gonna talk about it. Okay, so she kind of just, she joked and talked about, I did take notes, right? She talked about her kind of losing weight, and which kind of, I will say, kind of bothered me a little bit because the fact that it kind of inferred like she felt like she was big on the show. And I'm like, girl, she probably, in my opinion, had one of the best bodies. Like, especially when she put on that outfit and did that dance for someone who shall go remain nameless. Girl, hello. Like, I wish I could rip open a coat like that. What do you mean? Oh, hello. So, and she kind of joked about her mom like not liking to see her collarbone. She said she would never watch Love Island again. She just doesn't want to relive those memories. Totally makes sense. We've all been through some breakups that we would rather not relive. And unfortunately, yeah, it comes with it. So I guess if she wants to watch the show, that's a big part of it. So she probably won't be seeing that show anytime soon. She talked about it kind of being a mini vacation because you don't know when you go on the show, you don't know if you're going to be on there. So you could be in quarantine for 6 weeks. So, hey, free vacation. Hey, who doesn't want that, right? Right. Okay. And people question whether she went in looking for love. And she really kind of alluded that she almost rather would have had the love part than even just being an influencer. Even though I must note, she said she's extremely grateful, but she really went in looking for love, and obviously that's what she felt like she found, and she obviously did not. Um, so also it was like, so this was the funny part because if you are a fan of the show, then you have to know Murad Morale. If you are not a fan or haven't liked or subscribed to his channel, then definitely do. Um, he always has the saying, Justine is keeping it clean, and she does. I mean, for any of us who have followed the aftermath and the craziness of the breakup, a lot of us probably would not have kept it clean and exposed, might have made up some stuff just given the situation. So she really is keeping it clean, and she talked about, but not always feeling like you want to keep it clean. You want to, you want to be dirty, you want to do get back, but you just, you try to be better. And she talked about not being raised like that, not being raised as someone who would react like that. And so thank God for her discipline. I like to think that I'm there, but I shall move on. And then she talked about kind of what's done in the dark will come to the light, and that has shown itself to continuously be true. And that it will take care of itself. And I'm a firm believer, and it is shown that it will. Everything that is done in the dark is continuously coming to light in this situation. And so I believe in due time, the things that we are all waiting on to fully come out, if it has not, then it will present itself. And it does. I mean, while I do, I wish Caleb well, and something still seems kind of off with him. I don't know. Yeah, but I believe that he's not gonna be able to keep his mouth shut, and whether he's really gonna put it out there on purpose, sometimes the it just seems what he puts out there even says a lot more than him not even really truly addressing it. So, and I'm gonna leave it at that. um, let's see. And she, she talked about being scarred, and she talked about because someone asked, would it be a reunion? So if it was a reunion, would she go? And she's totally. And of course, she's mentioned that it's some people she doesn't want to see. Obviously, the people we want her to see, so we can see the mess, but we also don't want to see her hurt. But you know what I'm saying? We're here for the mess in a sense. So we want the drama, the drama. Okay, so we're here for that. But she doesn't know of a reunion in the works. I am still pushing for the reunion. So if you are in the comments, you can DM me. Let's do it. Like, yeah, I'm on Instagram as Coco Kenzie. Let's talk about how we can get this reunion in the works. Okay, good people. She said she is open to date of all races, and she talked about she would never date anybody from Love Island. None of the seasons, no. So those of you wishing her and Calvin or the sparks you think we see, did I say we? Yes, I did. Maybe I didn't. But no, not gonna happen. So we might as well give that up. And she also something, now this is kind of weird. She did talk about her and Sally, not because a question was asked, well, did her and Sally plan to break up, or was it fake based on like her and Sally both being single at the same time? Well, no, both of them, she said, exhausted all options to try to make their relationships work. And she was very clear on that, and it just did not. But she's so glad that they have each other. And if you are a fan, then 9 times out of 10, you are happy they have each other as well. So no, she did not fake her relationship. She was very clear about that. And as she got to the end, well, before I go in, well, no, I guess it all is going to come in together. So I'll address it all together. Um, she talked about her not faking her relationship, and when she kind of started talking about, because the of course the meaty question that most of us were waiting on was, did she is she going to talk about her breakup? And she got choked up. And if you have been through a breakup, you know that that is not something. It's not something that you fake. It is not something. Not, well, not to say it's not something that you fake, because obviously we've seen somebody fake it. But to watch her choke up like that, if you've been through it, then you know. If you've seen one of my old videos, and I can tell you from my own experience, you feel free to check out the video. And even me and the person are on good terms now, but still thinking about it sometimes, just when you care about somebody and you think they care about you, whether they want to be with you or not, to be deceived is hurtful. And she, and I just because, and obviously they're not on the same page, because I know on one end, when you hear him speak, a lot of times he tries to make it seem like, just didn't break up. They broke up and like just no big deal. But obviously, it's a bigger deal to her. And she even referenced someone. I don't think she was talking about Caleb. I feel like she could have been talking about Trey. You guys can let me know in the comments what you think when she was talking about someone kind of asking her to fake the relationship. Whatever it was, or whomever it was, she said she would never do that because of the feelings that would be involved. So that debunked and laid all that kind of stuff to rest. She talked about y'all folks coming for her and her wigs, and she said she don't care about y'all coming for her and her hair. She's good. She appreciates the constructive criticism. So she loves the constructive criticism. She's open to it, and those that she does and that she doesn't, she doesn't pay any attention to. But that's kind of what I want to talk about, because she's my biggest takeaway, because truly damn Caleb in that whole situation. Of course, I don't like it. I don't like that anybody, it doesn't feel good to be lied to if that indeed is the case. It does not feel good to go through that in front of the entire world and be put under a microscope with everything that you do. But my biggest thing is just I want her to be okay, and I want to talk about what she represented to so many of us, because I see so much online people like, well, why do people keep talking about Justine, or why here comes her little fan group now and this and that. She talked about going in and kind of feeling confident, and her confidence being broken once she got in there. And on some level, you're going to be rejected when you go in, but then it kind of being restored and feeling good. And then, when she got out, she's not in the best place now, but she's getting back there. Going in, of course, like I said, that there's a possibility you're going to be rejected. But being rejected is one thing. So she was rejected. But what was so special in all of it, this is why she has the fans that she does, is because she represents us. She represents a group of women who are so often cast aside. There's one token black girl on many shows, if at all. We can count on our hands the top, however many top black actresses that you see, because we continuously see the same ones. And not only that, especially, so we're talking about TV, movies, and by the time you get to reality shows, they are so few and far between, and so often they do not look like Justine. They don't have darker skin, they don't have full lips, they don't, you know, it's picked apart just on typically what is shown to us. So to see an around the way black girl, it felt good, and you cheer for her and you want her to win. And so I can't really explain that, because if it's not some people's reality, and it's no disrespect at all, it's just something that you feel, and it feel, representation is so important. And so for a group of women who are so often cast aside and not considered pretty, it felt good. And even to watch, that's, if you've seen one of my older videos, and I talk about how, first, watching it, like, it was frustrating, or I didn't even want to see it, but then watching her get rejected to become, and kind of watch her triumph, it was like, you root for it. It felt good. It was like, yes, you felt like you see a part of you, or your sister, or your mom, or even just, if it's not you, then it's somebody you know. It felt good. So whether she really found love or not, it was still like you're rooting for her. So then by the time you saw she actually found what you thought was love, it was like, this is amazing. And the person that Caleb presented himself to be in the villa, he talked about privilege, he talked about black love, he talked about all these things, and it was just like, yes, you get it. This is special. So I can only imagine, for her to live through it, what that must have felt like for her, and then to get on the outside and feel like that was all completely a fraud. And so to deal with that in itself, just being lied to by somebody you care about, and to go through the embarrassment in front of everybody, but then also to be picked apart for your looks. I have seen this woman be called an ape. I have seen, and this is even, pre breakup, post breakup, I have seen her skin be talked about. I have seen her lips be talked about. I have seen her be drugged for her hair. Now, I'm not even a Rachel fan, but something that she did say is true. And she talked about her counterparts having their tracks showing, them wearing weave. Not, and I say nobody, and of course there's always going to be a select few, but overall, Justine was dragged for her hair. She was dragged for her lips. She was dragged for things that, when we saw on other people, or as it was seen on other people, nobody said anything. I mean, for the very lips that she was birthed with from the Congo, when people, several women on the show, and again, no shade to them at all, who came on openly, said they had work done. And I mean, while they didn't say this exactly, they got work done to get the very lips that this woman was born with, who was talked about and drugged for her appearance. And the sad part about it is, and when we talk about, because so often people, they're the ones that were dragging Caleb, or dragging Caleb's friends, the ones that of his crew that were talking about her are black women. So all I'm saying is, we have to change the narrative. So a lot of people are going to continue to ride for Justine because of what she represents, and it feels good, and you want to see the story continued out. We felt a connection with her, but also, and just following her, how do we continue to change the narrative? How can we uplift her? How can we uplift one another as we move forward? Check yourself. I mean, because it is embedded into our culture. It's a long embedded. So it's, some people might not even mean ill will. There are the obvious that do, but there are so many that sometimes, just when you're talking, you don't even realize that you're making colorist statements, or that you even are a colorist. Because I know often we talk about racism, and while colorism is starting to be a bigger conversation, just little nuances sometimes that I don't think that I don't think that sometimes we're aware of. So just check yourself and check people online, check your friends. And it doesn't have to be combative. We can do it in a respectful way. But check each other, especially women of color, because we know, so many of us know. Everybody may not know, but those that do, that know what it's like to be pushed aside because maybe you're too dark, to be pushed aside because your hair is too nappy, to be pushed aside for whatever reason. And even as a woman, if it's not a person of color, if you've been pushed aside because of something about you, then you know and can identify. So let's uplift one another. Let's talk to each other in respectful ways. Let's check the next woman because maybe she was in love, or maybe she, maybe she was being talked about and she doesn't know. And, just let's continue the conversation. And as we get ready for the next Love Island or whatever the next show is, because I mean, it's all over, continue to uplift one another. Talk about it in the comments. Let's talk about community, bridging the gap, woman empowerment, and even add some of the men into it. The ones in between. I'm all about loving everybody. Check me out on Instagram at Coco Kinsey. I just got a Twitter. Bear with me, I'm learning it. So check me out as Coco Kinsey there, and on Facebook. I will continue to have more content. I look forward to continuing conversations with each of you. Much love, peace, and blessings, and I'll talk to you guys later.